Whenever you're ready.
So either you or the person sitting next to you have used some form of contraception. But think about how many choices women have when it comes to avoiding pregnancy. How many do men have? 2. If you think about it, fertility in men is the more obvious choice to regulate, since sperm is constantly produced as opposed to cycles like eggs. According to the National Center for Disease Control Prevention, about 48% of pregnancies in America are unwanted, half of which are resolved through abortion. Imagine a molecular contraceptive effective for both men and women with no hormonal side effects. We've identified 2 histone proteins that can pave way for this possibility. His35 and HTOS1 are histone proteins that behave as bodyguards to our DNA. They generally control whether the transcriptional machinery have access to your DNA and therefore turn genes on. So how do we know that these histones can pave way for a molecular contraception? First off, His35 is found in both sperm and eggs. And second, HTOS1 is only in sperm. So, how could we, snap. So it's interesting because His35, when you inhibit this protein, fertility is reduced by 30%. And when you inhibit HTOS1, fertility is reduced by 17%. But what happens when you inhibit both simultaneously at the same time? Fertility, surprisingly, is reduced, not even reduced. It's suppressed completely in our model organism, C. elegans. So the question of how do we develop a molecular contraceptive more closely becomes, how do we harness the activities of these histones to provide temporary alterations in fertility for humans? My research is just that. In order to harness their activities, we must first understand their activities. And what I'm doing is, 1, I'm identifying the histone's contributions to genes that regulate sperm and egg identity. And second, I'm characterizing mechanisms during the time of fertilization. Doing those 2 things will be able to pave way for molecular contraception with hopes that one day contraceptive use will be a shared responsibility between partners.